No storyteller ever sits down to start a new project and thinks this time, I'm going to write it all out perfectly on the first attempt. Not taking the time to rewrite and revise particular aspects of your life story is why you are not satisfied with where your life is headed. Let me explain. The stories that you tell yourself and others about your past life experiences profoundly shape your future life experiences. Psychologists refer to this as part of our narrative identity. Simply put, we are the stories that we tell ourselves and that we tell others. We identify with these stories and internalize them in ways that noticeably influence and even alter our future actions and decisions. So here is where the opportunity exists to rescript your life in a manner that transforms who you are and what you ultimately achieve. I've come across scores of exceptionally talented people, yet a good number of them seem to be always complaining about something, despite their robust talents, abundant accomplishments, and relatively good luck. Maybe you know someone who fits this description. A person that, no matter how positively you might perceive their current situation, their general narrative revolves around what's wrong most, if not all, of the time. They seem stuck on and obsessed with shortcomings and gaps in their life. Consumed by negative thoughts, they spoil the quality of their life, setting themselves up as a powerless victim. When you position yourself this way, you contaminate the reality of your narrative and the possibilities of your future, because victim mentalities and delusions of powerlessness tend to over-dramatize your current situation and prevent you from moving beyond the pain of your past. Your sense of self becomes intertwined with negative life events, drowning in bitterness and consumed by spilt milk rather than open to positive change on the horizon. On the flip side, you might know someone that's endured an undeniably challenging life, and yet they have this way of explaining every bad situation as part of something that helped them grow. They see conflict and challenge as natural and inevitable life tests that make them better and stronger versions of themselves. They might even admit they've learned worthwhile and meaningful lessons they will use to their benefit in moving forward along their journey. People who believe their life experiences are meaningful tend to tell stories defined by growth, empowerment, and hope. These are known as redemptive stories, and they are powerful and transformative tools within your grasp. So here's what I want you to do. Think about the last negative experience you shared with someone else. How did you explain it to that person? Did you focus on how wrong and unfair it was, or did you acknowledge what happened and convey what you learned? Did you articulate how the situation provided you with insight, perspective, and inner strength? If you are one of those people that tends to perpetuate contamination stories rather than redemptive stories, you are going to have to start editing and reshaping your personal narrative right here and now. Don't deny what happened. Simply redefine how you perceive it. We all hold the power to create and reinvent our personal histories so we can live with greater purpose. Your ability to redefine, rewrite, and polish key aspects of your life story will improve not only your quality of life right now, but also what you are capable of achieving in the near future. Mental health counselors use this kind of narrative therapy with trauma survivors to help them separate from difficult experiences, empowering them to deal with their problems in a more distanced, unbiased, logical, and less emotional way. They guide them in unpacking and processing their traumas and point out how the language they use in the telling of their story helps shape their identity. In this way, growth and renewal can stem from the post-traumatic event, and they begin to experience a positive psychological change out of the ashes of conflict. Instead of avoiding the experience and pain entirely, they start to rewrite and rewire their reactions to it, accepting their difficulties with openness and a strong desire to work through them. One way they rewire their thinking is by engaging in what's called cognitive exploration, adopting a general curiosity about information and a desire to explore their thoughts and feelings in a non-judgmental way. This is what turns adversity into advantage. When you do this, revising your past struggles into future opportunities, it leads to greater appreciation of life, stronger relationships, increased compassion and altruism, and unveils new possibilities and purpose, enhanced spirituality, and creative growth. This technique of revising your past to improve your future is straightforward and easily attainable. First, understand the narrative of your current story. How do you see yourself? How do you describe challenges? How did you interpret them? Pay attention to the language you use. Did you blame others or take ownership? Then begin to externalize your story. Remind yourself that it's separate from your identity. This gives you the power, freedom, and creativity to tweak and edit as you go. Find meaning in each challenging experience. What's the story you would prefer to be telling? How would you see yourself coping if you could do it all over again? In fact, go ahead and share this with us in the comments section below. Allow your values, goals, and aspirations to reshape your narrative with a focus on what's truly important to you. And don't be afraid to remind yourself of what you are working towards. The beauty of this tool is that all of your suffering ceases to be suffering at all at the moment you find meaning. In the meantime, be well, do extraordinary things, and live a story-charmed life.